afternoon, beautiful beings of light. Welcome to the Crone Zone Conversations with the Ancients. My name's Priscilla, and I'm a light worker and a healer and a psychic medium. And this is my co-host, Heather. And Heather, why don't you tell people a little bit about you?
Okay, I need you to repeat that. Because
I can hear you.
Yeah, but I can't hear you. So
you can't hear me?
No, I'm turning you up.
And you're frozen. Are you there?
Must just be the day because it won't move. You can hear me?
Mm-hmm. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello?
I can hear you. Oh, dear. Okay, we're going to end stream and come back. Or can you reboot? Heather? Yeah, that's great. Okay, we'll be back in a minute, I do believe. Hey, White Dragon. We're having a little bit of technical issues with Heather, but I think she'll be right back. So I'm just going to put up what today's show is. Of course, being dyslexic, instead of imagination and spirituality, I put spirituality and imagination. I don't know, some days, but that's okay. She'll be right back. How are you, White Dragon? It's wonderful here in sunny Key West. A lovely Tuesday afternoon. Well, I want to tell you what card I put today, because I thought that was really cool, although I've shuffled again. But I pulled the healer card, and it was talking about, basically, we're all healers. At least in this area. Where'd the healer card go? Ooh. So I got the healer when I pulled the card for the show, and the keywords were guide and facilitator. Listen as the medicine bleeds through her teeth, a river of mercy, blessed by Mother, seen only by those who hold her mirror. I love this. Among us are those who are called to be healers. They are the wise ones who've made a conscious choice to devote themselves to guiding others on their paths. Healers can be found in all religions and traditions, each with something beautiful and unique to contribute to the collective energy of the world. You may know them as shamans, medicine men and women, priestesses, wise ones, great ones. The list goes on. If you've pulled the gift of healer, know that you're being called to initiate yourself as one of the wise ones. There we go. Yep, you're all good.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can't hear you.
Why? Strange. Check and make sure you can't hear me. What can I say? I can't. I don't know what to tell you. You can't hear me.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I don't hear you. Are you talking?
I'm talking now. Yes, I am.
Not at all.
Okay. Check your phone. I'm sending you a text on what to do. No, you can't. Hello. You can't hear me.
Okay, gotcha. I don't know what was going on with that.
You got me now? You can hear me?
I got you now.
Yay. Okay. We're back at it. Okay.
Sorry,
I was just reading about the healer card that I got today. Let me finish that real quick. Okay. If you pulled the gift of healer, know that you're being called to initiate yourself as one of the wise ones. You're meant to be a guide for those who are finding their way, and there are many ways you can do this. As a healer for your family and neighborhood, or through building a community on social media offering wisdom. It doesn't matter how you choose to heal. All that matters is that you do. I thought that was just fantastic. I pulled this card for me as well as a card for the show today. So I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah, and I didn't keep the card that I pulled, but basically it said had confidence in yourself because we can do what we need to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, it was those gremlins, I'm sure. I'm sure we've been having CMEs, so we probably have electronic issues. I don't know. But
Uh,
did you pull the cards for the day? Your
yes, I did.
spread?
Yes, I did.
Awesome.
The first card was we, all of us, are caretakers. But when we want to take flight, sometimes the caretaker gets in the way. We stop ourselves from going off because we're taking care of everybody else.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, our souls are manifesting things. You can't hardly see that one, sorry. And our bodies are trying to write everything down that we get. And every time we talk about anything that we're doing or meditating, or if you're remote viewing, or if you're doing anything, we're supposed to be writing it down. And it's so hard to get that done. But we're still trying. But it says, if we keep our confidence up and we do what we need to do, we will be recognized for what we do.
Yay. Hi, Susie007. Nice to see you. I just love your Wonder Woman meme. Thanks, Heather.
Yeah.
Thank you much. So I don't know if y'all saw our show with Allie on Saturday, but that was a lot of fun. And if you get a chance, go check it out because we talked about what autumn means to us. And we had three different stories, three different perspectives. It was really interesting. So if you get a chance, have a look at that. And then today we're going to talk about imagination and spirituality, which is everything. I mean, I never really thought about the imagination, and wow.
So I started looking at it and I'm going, oh my goodness.
I know, right? So here we go. We've got a slide. A search. What is spirituality? It's a search for wholeness, a return to our divinity, a connection to the divine and unknown aspects of reality. And what's imagination? The act or power of forming a mental image of something not present to the senses or never before wholly perceived in reality. That was from the dictionary, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks to 18th century age of enlightenment, humans have come to place our trust in reason instead of imagination. But now we're shifting that perspective again. We're beginning to understand we have a distorted reality by splitting our world into opposites. Opposites such as secular and sacred, female and male, body and spirit, emotion and reason, and then assigning inferior or superior status to each of those. We now recognize that the imagination is not an inferior human capacity. It's a fundamental way of knowing and experiencing reality.
And yet I can remember as a kid, imagination was not looked highly on except in certain areas. If you're in art,
absolutely. Oh, that's just your imagination.
Yeah, that's just.
Yeah. They might as well say it's just a hallucination.
Yeah.
The way they acted about
it. Yeah. I
love that Susie Grandpop, that white dragon. And yes, Susie is a Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
She truly is. Okay.
So for most of human history and in cultures around the world, creativity was the province of the gods, not people. Before the Middle Ages, much of human behavior, from finding food to running from predators, was attributed to animal instinct. Anything greater was attributed to divine inspiration. And the word inspiration itself comes from the Latin word inspiri. And I know I didn't say that right. I've never had Latin. Anyway, which means to breathe in or on. When a god or divine power decided to blow an idea into a loyal disciple, that human was said to be inspired, so they could act on the idea to manifest it on earth. Initially, anyone could receive such inspiration, which usually came in dreams. The ideas received, whether prophetic, poetic, or practical, were gifts from the ultimate creator. The imagination wasn't something we could invoke on our own, but more of a passive receiver for divine messages.
Absolutely. Hi, Akila. Thanks for being here. And I think White Dragon actually pulled a card for the show today, too. From the Guardian Angel Messages Tarot, release endings, transformation, freedom. Ah, sweet.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Amen.
So the concept of divine inspiration also acknowledged that creativity itself was a divine power. Because human creativity was a key differentiator between people and animals, the imagination was considered a function of the soul. This understanding, excuse me, which at the time also distinguished the difference between people and animals. It wasn't believed that animals had souls. We all know better. This understanding of ideas and how we get them remained unquestioned for over 1,000 years. People who got great new ideas, along with the prophets and the poets, were the bridges between what humans could know and the higher truths known only to the gods and distributed to people as the gods saw fit. When a monotheistic theocracies came to power, church leaders initially embraced inspirations traditions, but that lessened over time in the effort to stamp out the pagans and control their own doctrines. Christianity and Islam altered people's traditional relationships with the divine.
Mhm. Ordinary people no longer needed sudden inspirations for prophetic dreams. The Bible or the Quran was provided instead, along with priests who could control their interpretation. Control was the key. Inspiration, divine or otherwise, often feels out of our control. Political and religious organizations gain power by enforcing control, not by encouraging anyone to escape it or think differently. Eventually,
sure.
anyone who claimed to be inspired risked being a challenge to leaders' authority.
Oh, yeah. Off with their heads.
Off with their heads, or hang them, or drown them, whatever. Over time, the imagination increasingly represented sinful temptations and became associated not with gods, but with demons. So soon, the imagination was being blamed for everything from witchcraft and demonic possession to birth defects. It's all your imagination. It's your fault.
Absolutely. The Enlightenment in an age of reason dismissed supernatural influences and assigned credit for ideas, good or bad, to human creativity. Yet there were artists and scientists as well who stubbornly continued to credit supernatural sources for breakthroughs, like Sir Isaac Newton, who liked to quote an ancient Egyptian author who'd said, "I had this art and science by the sole inspiration of God." Similarly, Johann Kepler wrote that the geometry he used to help establish the earth revolved around the sun had been implanted in him by God. A modern understanding of the imagination leaves room for both intellectual and spiritual explanations. Phenomena such as trances, ecstasies, visions, and voices can be considered to have a metaphysical claim that they came from God, but they manifest themselves in the physical world in terms of biology, chemistry, neurology, and genetics.
But just because science can explain inspiration in terms of electrical activity in the brain doesn't invalidate it as a gift from the divine. Today, millions of people around the world still believe fully in divinely inspired prophecy, especially when those prophecies come from their religion and or prophets. Historically, Efforts to prompt inspiration meant praying or sitting in quiet meditation and carefully awaiting a voice, feeling, impression, or idea. The ability to open ourselves up and to listen. This is our natural connection with the greater spiritual world, listening. Meditation's been shown to increase divergent thinking, the key to new ideas. Brain scientists have confirmed what poet Samuel Coleridge noted nearly 200 years ago. The imagination is the faculty that perceives connections, creates combinations, and extrapolates from these new insights. So it puts everything all together for us.
Like playing a musical instrument, it takes time and practice. Learning techniques until you're immersed in this music itself and forget all else. The same is true of the spiritual imagination. We start our mystical practice by intentionally engaging our spiritual imagination until Source or the divine assumes control. Finding a quiet place where we can relax, centering our minds and engaging in imagination until our angels, spirits, and guides take over our meditations. It's usually how it works for me. With a bit of practice, we can enter that state fairly easily. Here are some common spiritual imagination exercises. Meeting with your spirit guides. The imagination is employed to create a place to meet with the guides. And after a bit of preparation, the guides appear and give a message. Distance healing. The imagination is used to summon healing guides, the person who needs healing, and a place where everyone will meet. Healing energy is sent to the person in need by the laying on of hands or directed spiritual energy. I found this one kind of interesting because when we do remote work, I just directly go to the person.
Right.
I don't go somewhere and ask for guides.
And you say you don't ask to travel.
Yeah. Well, I'm there energetically.
Yes.
I mean, I don't feel like I'm there. Well, you know what I mean. I don't feel like I'm astral projected. I just feel like I'm sending energy to that person. But you may be right. Who knows? Who knows? Okay.
Okay, there's another one, meeting with those who have passed. It's easy to use the spiritual imagination to meet with our loved ones who have passed. Creating a meeting place with your imagination. Invite your loved ones to join you, begin a conversation, and soon the discussion takes a life on of its own.
Do you do that? I just talk directly to them.
Yeah. I've always just talked directly.
But I think this is probably really good for somebody that's never tried it before, that it's beginning to do these things.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Sorry.
And channeled writing. Now, this is something I have not been able to do. The spiritual imagination can be used to channel teachings. Ask to meet with one of your guides and begin a conversation until the guide fully assumes control of the discussion. And then we have musical composition. Now, this one for me is easy. It's an excellent musical composer knows that all music is given to them from the source outside of themselves. It just plays in my head over and over again until I get it written.
Until you write it down.
And I have to write it down correctly. No, that wasn't right. Okay, let's change this. Yeah.
That's
so through the power of the spiritual imagination, we create a music studio where we receive the music of the spheres. In my case,
I just was saying hi to Lark.
Oh, I was going to say, in my case, there's music playing in my head all the time, unless I'm doing something else, and then it's quiet so I can do what I'm doing.
Huh.
But otherwise, it's never quiet in my head. It's always music playing. It may be repeating the same tune over and over and over, but it's still playing.
Interesting. I don't think I have music playing in my head all the time.
I certainly do. So,
I don't quite know what's playing in my head all the time. I think I'm just focused on whatever I'm doing, so who knows?
yeah, but if I'm not doing anything, or if I'm reading, or if I'm just doing stuff that takes no real concentration, it's there.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, solving interpersonal problems on an inner planes of existence. We might invite a person whom we difficulties with in their physical realms to meet us in a higher realm. And to me, that's like when I invite somebody to come in, I want to practice what I want to say to them, you know.
Right.
And it's pretty well already taken care of by the time I actually ask them to talk. So it was weird.
That's good.
But since there are no interpersonal difficulties at the higher self levels, we have the opportunities to solve problems more quickly.
That's so true.
Mm-hmm.
That might be fun to do. The next one is problem solving. The spiritual imagination can be used to create a lab in the ethereal plane where experts from fields of knowledge may be invited to attend, and we can converse with the experts for help and advice. That's cool. Never thought of that. You can review the Akashic records. We can use the spiritual imagination to create a library on the ethereal planes and ask to examine our Akashic records, engaging our imagination until the Akashic guides appear and take control over what happens next. The spiritual imagination can assist one in reviewing past lives and allow the soul to travel to times long ago. Fun. Okay. And then one more, I think. Remote viewing and astral travel. Using the spiritual imagination, one may travel to any place in time or space to observe some person, place, or thing. I wish I could do that. Maybe I'll get to one of these days.
Anyway, so things to know about the imagination. There are some things that really need to know about. For instance, we all have one.
I think we all needed to know that. I know some people that I don't think have any imagination.
We all have one. We use it in daydreams, in planning, in remembering, and in meditation. Imagination is an important facet of the mind, along with reason, emotions, and the will. Memory employs the imagination so that we can recall events of the past. And imagination allows us to contemplate our lives in the present and to visualize our future. Now that we have the creative imagination is the ability to conceive of something that doesn't already exist. And it's the source of art and invention. You know, what am I going to do that's different? You know, imagination makes reading possible because what the author imagines, whether it's a story or an argument, is being replayed in whoever's reading it in their mind. It's going through their mind as they're reading it. So it's your imagination putting it together. Imagination is a facet of the image of God. His creative imagination is such that he created the universe from nothing.
So true.
Uh-huh. Practicing mindfulness and meditation can help us become more aware of the spiritual messages in our lives. Mindfulness allows us to be present and fully engaged in the moment, and making it easier to recognize signs and messages from spirit. It's funny, when you start to look for those signs and messages, they're there.
They truly are.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to stop and notice
Your
things.
eyes. Yeah, notice it. Yes. Meditation helps us develop a deeper connection to our intuition and the spiritual realm.
Our imaginations are atrophied. It has lost its innate capacity to generate new ideas and establish connections. Through the emergence of symbols that yield energy and original meaning, foreign forces invade our minds daily. A plethora of images and ideas pressure us to purchase a product or push an idea. Other images move so fast that they lull us into inaction through mindless entertainment, scrolling through social media, playing on the phones, that sort of thing. If it is our inner self has become an occupied territory colonized by outsiders. So true. We get bombarded all day long with information. People don't have time to sit and think for themselves. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, you have
This
to turn everything
insidious,
off.
I'm sorry, what?
You have to turn everything off.
You really do. You really do. This insidious dynamic jeopardizes our creativity and stunts our imagination. In the spiritual life, imagination has two meanings. First, it's a human faculty, the part of us that traffics in images, symbols, myths, and stories. It is the capacity we all have for innovative thinking and creative expression. Where'd it go? Second, the imagination is an inner reality, a boundless realm not defined by our senses or reason, that we know from our dreams and can enter through certain exercises while awake. The practice of imagination encourages us to use this faculty and enables us to explore the realm by learning the language of imagination. Journal the images that come to you spontaneously in association with your feelings and thoughts. Draw pictures of what you encounter in your dreams. Contemplate art and see yourself as part of the picture. Read myths and tell stories. It's possible to step into the inner realm of imagination, and that's where we can find fuel for our journey and gifts of wisdom. I love that. I just, for so many years, had no idea how important the imagination was.
And
And
to
used to poo-poo myself the things that I would hear and see and know because I thought it was just my imagination.
Yeah.
It's really kind of sad, isn't it?
I mean, how many times did you ask, am I going crazy? No, you're not going crazy. You're
A million.
and
A
yet
couple of years there.
we all have to learn to believe our
The
imagination.
trust.
Yeah, to trust it.
The trust. Hi, Miss Sharon Sight. Welcome. Lovely to see you here. I hope you're doing well. And Lark has a question, but I don't understand the question. What do you do if you're a true blonde here, like butterfly? What does that even mean?
What are you do if you are a true blonde?
I don't know. Maybe you can explain, Lark, a little better. And who would like some cards? Because it's time for cards.
And also, we need to know what true blonde means.
A true blonde.
Yeah, I don't understand the question either.
I didn't either. So who would like cards? Let us know, and I'll get you started and ready to go.
Yeah.
And if nobody's here to want cards, then I guess we can.
We'll just do it for the collective and
Yeah.
let you think about all that thing all that stuff that we just told you. There was a lot of information about it.
Hey, Akila, she would love a card. Oh, good. White Dragon, we know you're cuckoo. It's all right. Loving life. I would love a card. Yay. In reference to imagination, we're all God dreaming a dream. 9 billion different dreams, 9 billion different. You're right. I
That's
agree with
right.
that wholeheartedly.
Exactly.
I'm going to show that.
And that's
really
what makes
brilliant.
that's what makes the human race so different. I mean,
Exactly.
think about when we go to talk about what we've learned that day. If everybody did that, I mean, everybody does that every night.
That's
That
right.
is so.
Okay.
God's not important. Not
Sharon,
not,
you want a
not
card,
bored.
honey?
Not
Sharon
bored.
Sight, would you like cards? Okay, we start with Akila. I'm
I
playing
feel.
with the Seasons of the Witch, the Samhain Oracle today, because it's October and it's my favorite month. It's my birthday month, all month long.
And I'm still using the fairy tarot deck, but when I was unpacking, I found some other oracle cards that look really interesting. So I will be getting those out pretty quick.
Cool. Imagination is everything. It so is.
It is.
Really, really is. It's everything.
Otherwise, we'd just be robots
I think that's
doing
right.
what we're told.
Okay, let me get Akila up there. Okay.
You're going with 3?
I'm gonna go try 3. I've never done 3 with this deck, so let me just see if I can do it. Wow. Okay, I think I can do it. Okay, Akila, I got third harvest. Daughters of the woods, feel thy sacred swell with suppleness. Taste the gathering of honey's milk, filling your emptiness. It's that season, isn't a harvest season? So I believe this card in particular is telling you to enjoy what you've gathered in this fall harvest from your thoughts and what you've been working on in the past year. And don't listen to the noise around you of the people making noise that are frogs. I love this. May the lily beneath your breast allow you to drink from its healing waters. Be still, for there is serenity behind the drowning croaks. So keep your counsel. Don't pay any attention to the croaking that's going on around you. And then the elder card. And of course, she's a crone. She's beautiful. Birthed from seed within the belly of the moon, they are the wise, felt touches over our hearts and felt deep within the marrow of our spirit. You can call on your elders when you're meditating, call on your elders because I believe they have messages for you. But this is actually a nice grouping of cards, and it's the first time I've tried to read 3 together, and it's really, you enjoy your harvest, whatever that may be. Pay no attention to the naysayers, and align with your elders because they have information for you.
Yeah, it is surprising how ours match up because the first card was life experience. And on this card, it says, let go of belief systems that don't work for you. Things for important life-changing events or situation, for new opportunities. And the second card was balance. And the balance card says, take everybody's input and take it under consideration. And you can put together anything you want to make it better for you. Take your time, because there's no rush. Just get all that together. So they're saying get rid of the bad stuff, bring in more stuff, figure out what's going to work best for you. And it says right now, it's the 4 of winter. Set your concerns aside. There's no rush. You can make the decision later. You don't have to do it right now. It'll come through meditation, and you will know what the answers are for you. But, do the background work and the answers will come, but you don't need to rush through it. Okay?
Nice. And Loving Life says she listens but doesn't usually comment. So we appreciate you being here and commenting because we love chat room comments.
Yes.
Otherwise, we'd be bored and we'd be boring.
Yeah, it's much more fun when you guys join in.
It's much more fun to interact with you guys. So I appreciate
and
you being
much
here.
More informative.
Yeah. We learn a lot from chat.
Yeah. Okay.
You're welcome, Miss Akila. Okay, let's see what we got. No. Lay down.
Yeah, I just need to watch where I put my feet. She keeps moving, but she's right underneath me.
I have a psycho dog that likes to lick the floor, and she's licked her way back here. From the Go lay down, baby. Go lay down. Your bed. Get in your bed. It's right there. Get in your bed. Okay, I need to look that one up. Oh my God, this even has recipes in it.
Well, I'll go ahead if you're not ready.
Please go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay. So the first card was the moon. And basically what it was saying was that you have powerful intuitive epiphanies. So just let go of your worry and your fear and understand that you have those abilities. Okay. Sometimes it's hard for us to say, oh yeah, we can do that. We say, well, sometimes I can do that. No, you can do that. And what's holding you back, and this is the Two of Winter, is your indecision. So when you've got all these epiphanies that say you've got these things and you fight with it, your indecision is holding you back from being able to do what is going to help you and others. And sometimes you feel like you're trapped between intellectual and spiritual. Head says one thing, heart says something else. Believe your heart. Okay? And then you have the Chariot. And the Chariot says you will have success from the dedication and the self-discipline. And then you'll be able to celebrate your accomplishments. Quit doubting yourself. Quit saying I can't or maybe I can. You've got it. Your indecision is your nemesis. Go ahead and go do it.
She's got it for sure. Okay, the first one I get is silence. There's sweet embrace in the nothingness stillness brings, a presence of self fully embodied. So it's actually telling you to get silent, go within for the answers. The pumpkin, uncaging the spirit within, thou fertile power you hold, to taste your buttery velvet upon tongue is a gift. I shall cherish each day that comes. The pumpkin's about protection and abundance, actually. So, and then you have the witch, and you are the witch. You have the knowledge, you have the power within. You just need to get silent. The abundance is there and on its way. Use your mystical powers as the witch you are.
Believe.
And believe in yourself because you have the power.
Yeah.
I got the power.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah, you don't need to fight yourself.
We're always fighting ourselves, aren't we?
Yeah. Oh, that can't be true.
I can't tell you over the years, Heather, how many times Heather's had to listen to me go, am I crazy? Am I going insane? Do I need a shrink? In the early days of channeling and
What was my
mediumship,
answer every single time?
every time.
Every time. Said, no, you're not.
Yep.
You might wish you were, but you don't know.
The only information I have for you, White Dragon, on the ley lines is that they're having so much work done on them throughout the world by different healers that even the grid is super bright. Ley lines are being connected. Heather and I have not been working on ley lines up in Colorado, but we will when I get there.
I have.
Okay, but we haven't been together, but we will when I get up there at Christmas.
Yeah,
we'll do some work.
And the other
But my daily work is seeing the ley lines strengthen. Not only is the grid getting brighter around the earth, which I'm thinking is power and love, unconditional love, unity consciousness energies. And then I also see the ley lines being strengthened literally all over the world. There are some pockets that need help.
And they're moving all the time. All the time. And
Yeah, they
yet
do.
nobody else can feel it. My daughter
Oh,
wasn't
well,
getting
that just
around.
shows you how special you are. Okay.
It
We're
scares
on
the
White
heck out of
Dragon.
me as much as it moves. I'm going, I'm moving again, you know. But yeah, it's very noticeable that they are full of energy.
Okay. I've got the first card's ritual. Can you feel them? Wild creatures linked by the very blood you will spill into your craft. A ritual of dedication to self and those whose gazes hold fire, but whose whispers carry you softly through the unknown. I'm getting your safety, security rituals are important because the involvement that you have at night, don't be seduced by the excitement, by the newness. Something's going on that you need to be wary of. And then I've got the grief card. It is but a mere glimpse of nothingness hidden away deep within the chambers of your mourning. Oops, we lost her. In the red clovers, birthing lost illusion. I'm going to look up grief because that one is very confusing. So I don't know if you're mourning something, if you've lost something recently. Oh my goodness, I'm fuzzy. Just don't get so lost in your grief that you forget to live, whatever that grief is about. And here she is.
Yeah, it just went blank. Something we
I
had
don't know.
to do. And I said, okay, well, we'll come back in. I'm beginning to get
Oh,
used.
I forgot to read the seduction card. It says here the roaring flames with the masterful trance that calls upon having heaving chest. Give in to its alluring grip, if you please, but heed my warning of the claws that draw blood without mercy. So if you're not careful, whatever you're doing is going to cause you a little bit of grief here. If you don't pay attention to your security. I hate to say things about security, but that's what I'm getting.
Well, I got mine was pretty good. It says your delays are over, but I have a feeling this has to do with your granddaughter. Between you and your dog and granddaughter, your delays are over, and it was sudden. Even though you were expecting, it's still sudden. And good luck. And you may be doing a lot of traveling between here and there. Who knows? Anyway, then you have the Prince of Autumn. It says that you're dependable, protective, chivalrous, and humorous. I can see that.
I see that.
Yeah.
I can see that in Paul.
But where you two are concerned, you're cautious but wise in your actions.
And that's what mine said.
Yeah, and you're meticulous to the details, and kindness to others is a given. It's always there. And then you had the Four Springs, and it says, okay, you put all that together, then you got to be, you need to be grateful for what you got. And you have a lot to celebrate. That's great.
He's got a brand new grandbaby. He does.
That's right. Deep feelings of peace and happiness, a contented personal life. And that's why I said when I looked at these cards, the first thing I thought before I even delved into them, it's about you and your granddaughter. So, yes, you'll do everything you need to do to help her, and you're very happy about it.
That's cool. He says, "Good grief, Charlie Brown, I'm bored." That's what I'm thinking. There's going to be something offered to you to get you out of your boredom, but you really need to be careful because it's a double-edged sword. And I don't mean Michael's. Sharon Sipe. I know you have plenty of security.
Just wait till she gets a little bit older. You will not be bored.
I don't think he meant on the planet. I think he meant off planet
Off the planet. Oh, well,
at night.
maybe you should rest.
Wouldn't that be interesting to rest for a change? Okay, Sharon Sipe, this is for you. Let's see what we got here. Wow. Okay, I got the underworld. Hand over your known, a shift is near. Take a leap, your journey's clear. I think that's brilliant. And then the altar card, a sacred devotion, a worship, skin deep rising from the ash, the waters you keep. A sacred devotion, a worship, skin deep rising from the ash, the waters you keep. I think that has to do with your emotions and keeping your emotions under control, but I'm not control, but in a positive way because a rebirth is coming. I don't know if you can see that. A rebirth. There's death in all that awakens, for it isn't blissful nor painless. It's a mighty rising, O flame resurrected. So a rebirth tells me that you're going to go, you have something new coming in for you, whether that is a spiritual gift or I think that's what I'm getting is a spiritual gift.
Okay.
But it's all good.
Yeah. Well, the first card I had was I'm the heck with it. The first card is Justice. The next one is Queen of Summer, and the next one's Six of Summer. And the reason I'm holding them all three up is because they're intertwined. The Justice one says to take a look and review things and check out the details. I would say look at things from a different position. But it also has something to do with people that you know, and they remember things differently than you do. And that's why they're saying, take a look at it again and find out what the truth really is. And listen to your heart because it has intuitive insights. So when you come across something that might be a stumbling, or it might be just a little different than what you thought it was, look at it again and go with your heart. It'll tell you what was right. But the other thing that it did say, because you have intuitive insight that you can trust, you need to relax a little. You take care of others, sometimes a little too much. So, and it's to your detriment. It's not to their detriment, it's to yours. You need to rest a little bit, not do quite so much. But look at the situations from a different perspective.
Right.
Okay.
Susie, do you want a card, honey? We've got time. We've got like 10 minutes left, I think. So if anybody else would like a card, Loving Life, we read your cards, honey. You were the second card pull we did. So you might want to go back and watch. Anybody else want a card? Okay, there's Miss Susie. We'll do this for Susie.
And then a collective.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No worries, loving life, but it was the second one, so it's back a ways. Okay, let's see what we've got from Miss Susie. I have to look at my book because I am not used to these cards, so I need to get some help here and there.
Well, I'll go ahead and get started. The first one was that you're cautious and wise, Prince of Autumn, and you do pay attention to the detail, and you're kind to others. And you do, the next one's the Moon, and you have strong epiphanies. I mean, all of a sudden something will hit you and go, oh, okay, yeah, I understand that. You didn't know where it came from, but all of a sudden it made a lot of sense. So let go of the worry and fear. Because when you get those epiphanies, you understand the truth of the situation or whatever it is that you see. And the third one was 3 of Autumn. And it says, follow your passion when it comes to your career. Do what you love to do. And be the best at it. But just do what you love to do and do your best. And because you're going to be compensated for your creative talents that you have in that area. So do what you love to do. Do the best that you can do it. It will all pay off. So
that's cute. Susie's middle name is Detail. That's a good thing.
Yes.
No worries. Well, I get another weird one. I got the Wolf card, which is about freedom and using your instincts and your intuition. But then I got a Banshee, and the Banshee is a warning. Heed my warning, dear child, for what I hold is far from unsung lullabies. Swallow a nail and you can expect bleeding from within. Yikes. She's a warning to watch out for people that may be wanting to use you.
Yeah, takers.
Takers, exactly. And then I've got the apples, which was basically the same damn thing. People bearing gifts that aren't honest, basically, is what that is. So be careful in anything that you're doing that you don't know the people that you're doing it with. And pay attention to your instincts and your intuition.
Right. Because when you're working the way that you work and you want to make sure that everything is right, you should get the credit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Don't let somebody else take the credit for you.
Okay, then I guess we are ready for a card for the collective.
A card. Just one? Okay.
Yeah. I'm almost afraid to pull a card the way they've been reading. Jeez. Although it was good earlier. I pulled the healer card before the show, and it was talking about no matter where you are, you're a healer, whether you're on YouTube or doing work from somewhere else. We're all healers, especially in this community.
Okay. Yeah, it was taking me a while to figure this one out. It's the 2 of Summers, and I'll read what it says, and then I'll tell you what I got. It says, falling in love or making a serious commitment to someone. Forgiveness and the resolution of a problem. Don't give up. Your relationship can be healed. But what I got was that relationship is with yourself.
Yes. And the card I pulled was about in the inner self as well.
Yeah. So work on loving yourself. And
that's for the collective.
Yeah, that's for the collective. So
well,
go ahead.
Are you finished?
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not like a romantic love or anything. It's the relationship that you have with yourself is what needs to be, or would be better if you were to work on it to make it closer and more endearing to both of you, inner self and human self.
Yeah.
Okay, you go ahead.
Okay. I've got Greet the Darkness, which has three, I don't know if you can see the three women, but the key words are self and inner truth. And it reads, here where the spine bends and the mouth quivers, breathes the hidden, the pieces that make you whole, but cut deep with all of their sharp edges. So what it's basically saying is go within and deal with the shadow issues. We all have to confront the chaos and allow those feelings to surface and feel them and then let them go. And you're done with them. But we all have to face the shadow. And guess what? It's more than one occasion. We've all had to face those shadows, our shadow selves, and work on those things we really don't want to feel or deal with.
Yeah,
But
think about it. Yeah, think
it's
about how many times have you been on Earth and you have to go back and deal with everything that you've done before? It's just an ending.
it accumulates throughout lifetimes. So
Yeah.
that's what we have to do to clear those things from past lives or even our own childhood,
Mhm.
our current childhood. But it makes us stronger for sure.
And heal your
And
relationship.
it allows other things to come in.
Yeah.
Internet is buffering. Well, Heather's having issues with it today too. I don't know what's going on. But
Yeah,
that's all.
all of a sudden it was just completely blank, and I'm going, okay. And then it came up with a little, there was an error. I'm going, really? Didn't touch a
It's
thing.
just the joys of having a YouTube channel, Heather.
Yeah.
We never know what's going to happen next.
Yes, it's always a challenge. Or, well, not so much a challenge, just interesting.
Sometimes
Yes.
it is a challenge. Anyway, I wanted to thank everybody here for being in the chat and making your comments and getting cards read, because we love to do that. And we love our time with you.
Yes, we do.
Please, if you don't mind, hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. It always helps the algorithm. And go out and shine your light. Let your freak flag fly. That's so important. Be you, speak your truth, and make sure you spend some time on that self-love Heather was talking about.
Right.
Right?
It's important.
And we will see you Saturday. And we're going to have, Saturday is Carrie O'Donnell, Tarot Soul Rider. We're going to talk about the 2020 project. And then on Tuesday, we have Crone Wisdom. We're going to talk about what Crone Wisdom is and how we can spread it and be proud to be Crones. So until then, do what?
And why it's important to do that.
It's very important to do that. So thank you for being here. We love you all. We're sending lots of love and light to you. And I hope that you'll spread it throughout our planet so that we can all hit 5D one of these days. It would be wonderful to live that way. Right. Until Saturday, I guess, we'll say goodbye. And thanks for being here. Bye-bye, everyone. Love you.
Bye.